Phrases like love and light, vibrate higher, and I'm protecting my peace are all cute and catchy and they sound nice, but they are not fully reflective of the meaning of the spiritual journey. We always begin with gratitude, so I want to thank you for sharing your energy and your presence here. Peace. I am LA. I want to share with you 4 dark sides and uncomfortable truths of the spiritual journey, along with some personal stories of mine. Here are the 4 dark sides that a lot of folks don't usually talk about. Number 1, arrogance. When you begin to develop your spiritual gifts and you become more spiritually attuned, and you start to ascend and you actually feel yourself ascending, it's really easy for you to allow your confidence in your spiritual journey to turn into arrogance, in the sense that you may look at your journey as better than someone else's, and you can even find yourself looking down on other folks, which is not the purpose of the spiritual journey at all. It is about ascending and shining your light out into the world in order to inspire others to shine theirs. This uncomfortable truth, or this dark side, arrogance, slightly showed itself for me after I did my 10-day water fast a couple of years ago. And I remember feeling untouchable. I was like, nobody can touch me. I am like almighty. I am a goddess. I just felt really powerful. And it was in that moment that I realized, like, oh, this can very easily turn into like me putting myself onto a pedestal and me getting more into my ego rather than being in the energy of love and light. If this message and guidance is resonating with you, please share and comment, and I would love for you to subscribe and join our community. Number 2, purging and shedding. This is a really big one and has been, I would say, a constant part of my spiritual journey. It's shown up in a bunch of different aspects. I think I first saw it with myself when it came to purging and getting rid of my physical belongings. Over the last few years, I've done quite a few purges where I just got rid of a bunch of stuff. And I'm continuing that process and have found it to be really liberating and feel like my energy is a lot lighter after that, and the energy of my space. Like, I can palpably feel the difference when I do go through those purges. It's also come in the form of shedding habits and relationships. Since the pandemic, I have had quite a few significant relationships fall away, and that's been challenging because I didn't expect it, and these relationships have fallen away back to back. And in the beginning, it was really scary, it was confusing, and I also thought that maybe there was something wrong with me, that I was the cause of these relationships ending. But looking back on it, all of the relationships that ended were no longer aligned. We had reached the point that we could go with each other, and it was time to let go. That purging and that shedding can be really, really uncomfortable, because you might find things and people and even spaces falling away that you thought you would be able to hold on to. Number 3, isolation. When I look back on some of the most painful but transformative times in my life, they were times when I was isolated, when maybe my support system was not as available to me, or maybe I just had this really deep sense of loneliness. I felt alone in what it is that I was navigating. And that isolation has a purpose. Isolation is supportive for you, even though it can be uncomfortable, it can be scary, it can be confusing, but it is supportive in the sense that you get to develop a really deep sense of self-trust. You get to know yourself and really be with yourself, and even sit with the fear that might be coming up for you of having to navigate whatever it is you're facing alone. So that isolation really can be a catalyst for you to be not only your more evolved self, but also your stronger and more resilient self. Because the reality is that your support system is not going to always be available to you We are in a time right now where everybody has something going on. There's so much going on in the world, and you have to remember that everyone else has things going on in their lives that they could be dealing with that may not allow them to have the capacity and the energy to show up for you in a way that they would otherwise. So this isolation really is a helpful tool. I experienced the most profound sense of isolation that I've ever experienced when I moved to LA. And I knew that it was intentional because when I looked back on my journey, it was like my entire support system was like pulled away from me, just like that. And I was dealing with so much on my own and by myself, and I've experienced so much, a lot of which folks who know me and are close to me still don't know. Stories that I still haven't told, that I may never tell, but these are stories that live with me, and I have a confidence now of knowing and looking back on what my time in LA has been so far and say, if I can make it through that, if I can move through that and find the meaning in it, I can do anything. Number 4, detachment. You may be really surprised at what you find yourself not caring about anymore, or maybe not caring about as much, or even things that you know used to be able to really get to you and cripple you in a way that they don't impact you as much anymore, or at all. That detachment is, and I'm going to say healthy detachment, is related to your spiritual ascension and you deepening your spirituality and your spiritual practices, because what you learn is that as you continue to ascend and you shine your light and you're vibrating higher, so to speak, you are also improving your ability to transmute energy, which means that when you are met with things like fear and discomfort and uncertainty, you are able to use that and channel it into something else, channel it into light, into medicine. I remember a time recently where something happened that I used to get really, really worked up about, that used to be really anxiety producing, that would just bring up all of these different emotions for me. And I realized that the thing happened and I was just like, okay. And that's when I knew that I had reached a certain level in my spiritual journey and also just within myself to be able to detach in that way. And it wasn't that I wasn't aware of what had happened, it was more so that I was aware and able to acknowledge what happened, but I had a different reaction to it. I end all of my videos with a prompt for journaling or reflection because I want you to leave with something extra in your toolbox. I'm going to give you a 2-part prompt for today's video. The first part is, which of these dark sides or uncomfortable truths resonate with you the most? The second part is, what has been the most challenging part of your spiritual journey? I invite you to screenshot these so that you can come back to or journal about them later. And now for the Reconnect roundup. Please check out my first ever recorded sound meditation called Clarity and Stillness. It is free and available to stream and download on SoundCloud. If you have not done so already, please also check out the Ease Experiment series, which was my daily series where we were breaking free from survival mode and battling burnout together, creating a life of ease. This series is jam-packed with so many different practices and tools that you can use at any given moment. We are just about at the end of the year, and this is the perfect time for you to pack your toolbox with those gems from the series. Check out the companion article for this video. It is titled The Uncomfortable Truths About the Spiritual Journey, where I go more in depth about each of these 4 uncomfortable truths. That is linked down below. All of these links will be available down below in the description of this video. Well, that is all that I have for y'all for today. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon, but in the meantime, reconnect with you. Peace, y'all.